Hello you awesome possums! I started playing PlanetSide 2 I think around 2016 when the PS4 version came out. Those days I was a huge console gamer. Now, generally I wasn't a big fan of first-person shooter games on consoles for obvious reasons. You know, the whole mouse and keyboard thing. But as dramatic as it sounds, I was converted. It was followed by one FPS game after another. Titanfall 2, Call of Duty, Battlefront 2, and Battlefield. Oh wait, sorry. Alright, that's better. Now I'm mostly on PC, but I wanted to revisit my PlanetSide 2 roots and share some small in-game differences between the PC and the console version. Now keep in mind that these clips are a bit dodgy because I recorded them on the PS4. Because I don't have a PS5, I'm so sorry. Anyway, also I won't be comparing the graphics since it varies from player to player. Because some are on the regular PS4, PS4 Pro, or PS5, some have excellent gaming PCs while some have PCs made from dead tree branches and small animal organs. But anyway, starting off with the first one, and as the title says, no Osher. Osher has been out for some good time now for the PC version. Unfortunately, or I don't know if this is really unfortunate to be honest because some people have mixed reactions. Anyway, Osher is not available in the console version. Well, at least for now. And there's no news that it will be anytime soon. There's a good chance that hardware limitations has something to do with this. The PlayStation 4 is just about a decade old now, and in human years, that's maybe 80. You cannot expect an 80-year-old to run a full marathon.
Keo Tyvasalo, 82, finished the race in 4 hours, 10 minutes and 23 seconds.
Okay, that was a bad example, but that's pretty awesome. But you get the point here. We all know that PlanetSide 2 is a resource-demanding game. Maybe not too much on the graphics side of things, but more on the CPU side. Now of course, they can re-optimize the game for the console I guess, but at this point, I doubt that this will happen. If anything, Osher can be made available for the PS5 because the game runs pretty well on it, and I've seen some PlanetSide 2 on PS5 videos. They look smoother than Will Smith's forehead. Next is the UI, or at least the game menu UI. Comparing the PC and console game menu UI, the difference is night and day. The console UI looks less appealing and it makes the game look like it's free to play. Wait a sec. Okay, I'm kidding. But don't get me wrong here, it is understandable since console games have limited ways to navigate through an in-game menu because it is designed for controllers. It is nothing new because a ton of console titles does this, but the console UI really has this free-to-play look. I know that sounds kinda dumb, but I'm sure you understand what I'm getting at here, especially if you've played several free-to-play games. Next one is pulling a vehicle on redeploy. By now, most of us already know we can do this. Probably. But for the sake of it, you can pull a vehicle, land or aerial as you redeploy, saving you the trouble of going to the terminal. However, this is not the case for the console version of the game. While you can still redeploy as your class of choice, you won't be able to do the same for vehicles. This means you have to do it the old-fashioned way. I'm not really sure why this is so, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this has something to do with the redeploy timer. But I don't know, even with that, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. Well, let me know in the comments why do you think this is. Speaking of the redeploy timer, PC players are accustomed to the 10-second redeploy timer. In the console version, it only takes 3 seconds. The difference is by default on the PC, you only need to press U and the redeploy countdown starts. So you still have time to move around and do whatever it is you need to do within those 10 seconds. Whereas in console, you have to open your map before you can redeploy. So give or take, that's about 4 seconds and you pretty much can't do anything since the redeploy screen covers everything. While 3 seconds sounds nice and all, I take the 10-second one any day and still move around and do things. Yes, 10 seconds is a lot of time. I mean, I've done some impressive things in 10 seconds. You should ask my first girlfriend. Anywho, I have a couple more left, but before that, if you like this video, please do leave a like and drop a comment to please the YouTube gods. And please hit subscribe as well. Next is the base construction. This is one feature commonly seen in the PC version that is not in the console. While yes, you can still pull an ant and well, apparently, harvest resources, but that's just about it. You cannot deploy the ant and start building. I know it's a bit of a bummer to some of our friends on the console, but once again, I think it boils down to hardware limitations. The game already tends to be choppy and slow at times as it is, so imagine what bases that pop up here and there can do. But again, it might be a different story for the PS5 users in the future, so who knows. Okay, the next two are just some really small differences, but I guess they're still worth mentioning. Like redeeming game codes in the depot or account page. Yes, it kinda sucks, I know, but do not mistake this for the redeem code in the PlayStation Store because that is entirely different. Also, in the console version, you have to do a long press of the triangle button to switch weapons and square to enter a vehicle. This may seem odd, especially if you're used to mouse and keyboard, but it's not really that bad. And besides, this has been around for ages in other games as well, so a lot of console gamers are quite used to this. So what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and as always, stay awesome, Possum.